here with First Selectman Matt Knickerbocker.
Yep.
At the groundbreaking of the Plumtrees Bridge.
Yep.
It's April 14th, 2016. Are you excited?
I am beyond excited. This is, I have a theory based on previous experience. It takes about 20 years to do anything, and this is no exception. This dates back to the late 90s, where the state of Connecticut was going to replace the current bridge, but leave the intersection with the difficult dogleg turn and the limited accessibility. They're going to leave that intact. And as First Selectman Judy Novacek said, nah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. So she had it redesigned. The state agreed to participate at the extra cost, which is fantastic. So this is, we are finally here after all this time, after engineering reviews, wildlife reviews, fishery reviews, Army Corps of Engineers reviews, environmental protection, DPH, it goes on, but we are finally here to break ground on this. This is a $3 million project entirely paid for by federal transportation funds, which, by the way, are no longer available at 100% participation. This is grandfathered because of the date that this was started. So the taxpayers will get a beautiful new redesigned intersection. It will ease congestion, make accessibility to the school campus a lot easier, and all we have to do is go through the next 2 summers.
And I understand it's a 2-year project.
It's actually not a 2-year project, but you have to put in time for the winter break. So It'll be this summer, then they break, and it'll be next summer. But the road will stay open. They will be building a bypass to allow traffic to go through. So aside from the possibility in the second summer of some temporary lane closures during the day where they close one and the other, there will be accessibility through the entire project.
But no problem for school buses and things like that, yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
In 2000, the state came down and there was a big hoopla about opening the bridge on Old Hollyville Road. And the state manager said at that time, well, we're coming down to do Plumtrees Road Bridge next. And I said, well, what are you going to do? And he said, well, we're just replacing it. I said, no, you're not. And so we came back. I said, we own all the land. We can't just do that. So we ended up going up to Hartford, or going to Newington, I guess, where the Department of Transportation is. And we talked to them about it, the engineer, and finally they had these great big maps out, and he had the picture of everything, and he said, after all of these traffic studies and this, he said, well, where do you want the bridge? I picked up a ruler, I laid it down, I said, we need to make an intersection, and we walked out. The engineer from town was in a state of cardiac arrest, and eventually it came to pass. They started working on easements, because the town owns most of this land down here. And so it just was a very, very difficult intersection.
Now, where is the new road going? That one's coming out.
No,
it's coming this way.
No,
right, so where is it going to be? Right here?
It's going to be connected so that it'll be basically, instead of a T, it's going to be
Right.
X.
Like an X.
I see, right there.
Yeah.
But how far over is it moving? Right about where we're standing?
Probably back that way a little bit further.
Okay, so a little bit of a curve.
It'll be.
Yeah.
But at
Okay.
least it'll be an intersection, and so people don't have to come up out
Do a
of
zigzag.
Walnut Hill, try to cross the bridge, and try to wait for traffic, and it just was confusing. And the traffic study that they showed me on the computer, they had 3 cars lined up on Walnut Hill, 4 or 5 cars lined up on Plumtrees. I said, that's not what happens, because it's a real bottleneck.
Well, thank you, Judy Novacek. And we're also here with Selectman Zetkowski, Paul Zetkowski, and Richard Straighton, Selectman Richard Straighton. Glad to see you here this morning.
Thank you.
Are you excited about this
Absolutely.
road?
You know, we've been here for ages, just living with this nightmare and thinking about how we're going to move this project forward, but it's just nothing but bureaucracy just held everything back, right, Rich?
That's right. It's finally after
15 years.
15 years. But it's going to be great for the traffic flow here. You know, this is the route to 84 from downtown Bethel, and tractor-trailer trucks will get stuck on this corner here, and this is going to alleviate a lot of problems now and in the future. So it's great to see it's finally getting done.
And how long do you think this project will take?
Well, it's a 2-year process, a
Okay.
2-year construction cycle, so it's technically 2 years, but I think the contractor, the way he's moving along, is going to be ahead of schedule on it.
And who's in charge of this project?
Of
Just
the town?
running the whole
Well,
project.
well,
The state is in charge of it, but we will just oversee it. That's about it. That's the simplest way to put it.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm here with Public Works Director Doug Arndt. How do you feel about this new project?
Well, I'm really excited for the town of Bethel. This is a great day, a great project. It's going to really help the town in the traffic situation here on Plumtrees Road Bridge. It's a good day, and we have a good contractor and a good design team, and we're hoping that the next 12 to 24 months goes as smooth as possible for the residents that have to travel through here each day.
Now, what problems did this new design solve?
Well, if anyone is familiar with this intersection, it's just an odd configuration of roads coming in, combined with the high degree of commuting traffic and school traffic, with the school campus just being up the street. So our design straightens it out into a 4-way intersection and will dramatically improve traffic flow through here, both in volume and safety as well.
Thank you so much.
Doc is here from DOT. These things can't happen without a lot of partnership between the town and the state. Gary thought he would be long since retired before this happened. Tom Weldon, thank you for joining us. Tom is another one of our partners from DOT. And of course, Doug Arndt is here. Doug is the third Director of Public Works to have suffered through this thing. He's picked up the reins over and over again. A few other people I'd like to introduce. First of all, Bob Dibble, who's going to kill me for even bothering to introduce him because he does not like to be in the limelight. But Bob is absolutely one of the finest highway superintendents in the state. He knows how to squeeze pennies out of absolutely anything and make his budget work. I was going to ask him if he would say a few words, but I know what they would be. It would be, why is everybody standing around, get back to work? So we'll skip that part of it. My colleagues, Paula Antolini and Rick Straighten are here, and this is another one that, they've worked very hard and supported this project. We've had a lot of challenges to go along the way. Bob Kozlowski is joining us, our town comptroller, and Brad Herring, the deputy comptroller. Those are going to be the people that process the bills and keep it on the straight and narrow. And I'd also like to introduce Steve McDonald from WMC. WMC is our consulting engineer who is going to help oversee the project, make sure it stays on the straight and narrow. And I know you have a great reputation, and we're looking forward to that. And of course, last but not least, Norm Meggs. Norm, congratulations on winning the bid. Progress is good. Of course, it's not this progress, it's the housing development down the street. But anyway, Norm, welcome to the Bethel community. We're glad to have you on board.
I'm kind of local. I live in Newtown, business in Monroe, so we're really close.
Yep. Well, you're going to be an honorary Bethel resident through the duration of the project. And
You're going to get a tax bill.
No such thing as a free lunch.
I wasn't going to tell him that. Last but not least, two very important people that I wanted to make sure that we recognize. First, former First Selectman Judy Novacek. Judy was in office back when the state was going to help us just rebuild the project that was here, the bridge in its current configuration. And she was the one, with Bob's input, who said, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense to maintain this dogleg and the congestion that occurs. So Judy got the thing redesigned to what we are going to be working with today. And former First Selectman Alice Hutchinson, who picked up the reins from Judy and kept the ball moving forward. And ultimately, we're here today because of their foresight and their leadership. So thank you very much. And not to put you on the spot, but did you have any comments that you'd like to share with us?
I didn't think I'd live long enough to see it happen.
Me neither. Long process. Thank you for finishing it up.
Richard, Paul, any comments? I know they will have comments.
No, I think it's we've been waiting too long for this.
Long overdue, and it's finally coming to fruition. So it's great to see progress. Hopefully it'll get done under budget.
I'm sure Norman. Okay, so we're just going to take we're going to do throw the ceremonial dirt